Our business, we have a company, Travel Food Services, which operates multiple brands in the travel retail segment. So we partner with some of the best leading brands in India. So we have brands such as we work with KFC, we work with Pizza Hut, we work with Cafe Coffee Day, and we have partnerships with Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. We have some space with McDonald's as well. So multiple brands across. So all I would say, we understand what Indian consumers want, and we work with all of those brands and many local national brands as well. Wow Momos, many of them here, and many of our in-house brands. So it's a very wide thing, because in travel retail, passengers, there are various different tastes and segments. So we try to cater to all of that. The opportunity, I think, was largely tied with the privatization in airports was the first step. So when that happened, we knew that the segment would really explode and the opportunity would really grow. So we entered around then. We were ultimately players in the high street, many restaurants. We got that expertise to come and work in airports at the first step. And that was really our starting point, going with the biggest airport, Bombay, Delhi initially, and now we've gone to many more airports, Chennai, Calcutta, Goa, and various other airports, even things like Mangalore, Pune. So we're spread quite wide across India. Today we're the largest player in the travel segment. We now also operate in railways and highways as well, as that's the new India. That's where expansion, as people connect to tier 2, tier 1 cities from the metros, travel is really growing, and we are there to tap that. So technology is a big part, I think, today of food in general. Technology is a massive part of it. So part of that whole thing is, for us as well, we like to innovate. Our company's DNA is that. So some things we've done recently have been, in our segment, we've done one thing where passengers coming to the airport, we realize, go and sit at gates. So how do you tap those passengers? They don't come to your outlets, you're losing those passengers, and they're not getting the offering. They're not aware if something's around. So we actually have kiosks and tablets that are present across the airport, where people can actually order from different points in the airport to any outlet that is present anywhere in the airport. So you place the order, that food actually comes to you and is linked into your mobile. You get an OTP, you put it in. The food from any outlet in the airport comes to any place in the airport. So that's something. Then we did a technology, we tied up with a humanoid, where we had a robot actually serving at one of our outlets in Delhi. And we're doing a beta testing of it right now. We're testing that and seeing that ultimately the practical applications of it, what can it be, what are the offerings people are looking for, and how can robots actually come in and raise the experience for passengers. So that's something we're testing out now. There's various things. So technology has been a big part of what we've done across the business, and even in a back end, we have various things we do on technology. So a lot of our audits happen in terms of an app we have, where things are tracked and recorded and done through the use of technology in those areas as well. So we tend to operate in travel retail with a good mix of both. Both are essential. You need a good plethora of in-house brands that cater to exactly what consumers' offerings are, and existing brands, both national, international type brands, where people know the type of offer they're expecting, and it's consistent in those lines. So we have a good mix. I would say roughly we tend to be about 50-50 between both, and I think that's what consumers also look for. So our execution of doing that is based on what we see the trends have been, what consumers have wanted, and obviously some places there's a bit more national or international brands. Some places you may have a bit more our local favorites and our in-house brands. So it's a combination, depends. So many of our in-house brands actually are very strong. So brands like Caffuccino, Indiaretailing.com that are there. We have brands like Copper Chimney and Irish House, which are part of the group. Very strong brands, considered some of the best nationally, and do extremely well. And in most cases, sometimes even beat other brands that are nearby. So it's again understanding the consumer, creating the offer, and I think our split is roughly equal between both of these segments. Big expansion, obviously, our Indian food platform, which is Charcoal Concepts, has brands such as Copper Chimney and Bombay Brasserie part of it. That expansion opportunity, we believe, for Indian food will always remain. That will be the most important cuisine in our country, and we see it only growing. And I think it's about innovating, creating offers, and creating the right, understanding what the consumer wants, and kind of taking that forward. So that will always be a key part of us, and we've been expanding that brand. Bombay Brasserie was a very old brand that was there. We revitalized it about 2 years back, and we started a relaunch on it. And we've really expanded that brand very well. And Copper Chimney was obviously a very successful brand across India, known very well. We've kind of expanded geography, then gone international as well. So we've got presence in the Middle East as well with the brand. and it's got very, very strong performance wherever we opened. Whether it has been in India, the consumer knows it, but even internationally, some of the numbers and the performance we're seeing in Corp has been truly remarkable to see the strength the brand has. So in travel retail, I think the main thing we've seen is one big point is consumers, passengers as we call them, would want convenience. So brands have to be quick to deliver. The food needs to come out quickly. Some of the initiatives we've done, like I mentioned, about food at gate, which is basically delivering to any point in the airport. Anywhere you order through an app and it comes to you, that's very important. I think that's a key part of key part of convenience and getting to the customer is a big part of the thing. That's what passengers are looking for. And I think the other thing that passengers are really looking for is a healthy variety and mix of brands. So I don't think anyone can go with just a particular type of a brand, a particular type of segment. I think it's important that one creates multiple options for passengers within an airport. So I think that's an important part. You need to allow a passenger, many of them business travelers, keep traveling, maybe even travel 3-4 times a week. We've seen even trends like that. So therefore you need to have enough options, enough variety, do it well. And that's what I think is the need of the hour. So our expansion is obviously India focus. I think tier 1 city is our largest presence in metros. The plan is for metros, we want to obviously go into some of the for metros in tier 1 is the natural progression. But even in tier 2 and sometimes we are now expanding more into the east, we believe is a big opportunity which is untapped. So we are present north, west and south already quite widespread. The east for us, natural progression is where we see. We've already gone into Calcutta, but we do believe recently we're entering Guwahati as a market, for example. We're touching the Seven Sisters through Assam as a starting point. And we do believe there's much more opportunity in that east area which has been untapped. So that's a firm belief that I think that is going to be a big opening up that's happening in F&B.